for joining us for this edition of SBU News. I'm Jenna Brawley. The folk band All Sons and Daughters came to SBU to put on an inspirational concert. The concert was styled as a worship session where students were free to stand and sing as they wished. Dr. Clint Bass, Assistant Professor of Church History in the Redford College of Theology and Ministry, has recently published his first book, Thomas Grantham and General Baptist Theology. The book, based on Bass's doctoral thesis, focuses primarily on the doctrine of the General Baptist leader, Thomas Grantham. We'll be right back after this message.
A little boy who was going to run the mile but didn't have tennis shoes. He came up and he said, "Mrs. Boyd, these are magic shoes." And I said, "You haven't even gone to run the mile yet. What do you mean?" He goes, "Oh, no, you don't understand. I got 100% on my spelling test. I never get 100% on my spelling test. It had to be the shoes."
We see her every day, but do we really know her? Reporter Sarah Bicknell takes a closer look at SBU's receptionist, Ina Whitlock.
And then you'd hear the drone of the planes coming. The drone, you know, just that it's a weird sound, but it'd be a whole bunch of it's the drone of the planes coming, and then the bombs would start dropping. The house would shake, the ceiling would crack.
When it comes to World War II, most people think of Hitler and Pearl Harbor. For Ina Whitlock, the trauma of war was all too close to home, in a land across the pond.
And because London was bombed, I mean, at one time we were going to be annihilated. I mean, he was going to annihilate us, Hitler, that was, you know.
At the age of 3, Ina and her 2 sisters lived with their mother outside of London. While some children were sent out of the country with their school teachers for protection, Ina's family stayed behind.
Most of the men were gone. Women were working in factories. We maybe had 1 or 2 ladies that were kind of watching out over us.
Ina says that life for her was like an adventure. She recalls having tea parties with her friends in abandoned houses. In the 1940s, children were subject to rationing and gas mask training like the other Londoners.
And when I was really little, I had a Mickey Mouse one.
Why did you have a Mickey Mouse one?
Because I was little. And they gave the Mickey Mouse ones to the real little ones so they wouldn't be scared.
This was not the only experience Ina had. She also talks about her encounter with a very famous British Prime Minister who rallied the people of England onward during the Blitz, Winston Churchill.
Oh, we waited all day long. The streets were lined, you know, went on his route that he was going to come down. Finally, he comes around and he's in a sidecar of a motorcycle, in the little sidecar. And he has an army uniform on and he's got a cigar in his mouth. I don't know whether it was a light, but he had a cigar in his mouth, and as he went by, he just held up the V sign.
More than 1 million London homes were ruined, and nearly 20,000 civilians were killed during the bombings. Ina is one of the many who survived the attack. Her experience left some memories and a battle wound.
A piece of shrapnel came, I guess it was just rolling along, and it hit my foot and went through my shoe leather and made my toe bleed. So I got hit by a piece of shrapnel.
Now, Ina has answered the phones at SBU for nearly 4 years. Taking care of a busy switchboard can get hectic at times, but it's nothing compared to the tension she felt as a little girl, running for the cover of a bomb shelter. With SBU News, this has been Sarah Bicknell. Good night.
From all of us here at SBU News, I'm Jenna Brawley. Thank you for watching.